here's someone just as special as they are, and it's their sister, okay? I don't know if you've heard from her yet or not. But Becca Farley is a wonderful lady. She's got a tremendous story to tell, and she's going to come up here and she's going to speak straight from her heart. And you'll love this lady. She's an executive director, and she's going to come up and how to sell and recruit from the heart. Let's welcome Becca Farley.
I'm honored to be here because I don't feel like a superstar. I'm just a stay-at-home mom. And when I say that, my husband always says, "You're not just a stay-at-home mom." And that's neat for me because when I was little, all I ever wanted to be was a mom. And unfortunately, my husband's grandmother always tells me that it's easier to marry, or it's just as easy to marry a rich man as it is a poor man. And I married a poor man. He's a hard worker, and he's honest, and he's loyal, and he's wonderful. But he's poor. And he married me and moved me out to a place that most people will never know. It's a very, very small town. We have about, 1,000 people in the whole town, and you never see them. More trailers than the Appomattox thing. Okay, you know. I live in a little bitty single wide trailer. Single wide. I'm not even the queen of the double wide. I drive a little bitty station wagon, and when I first got in Duchesne, I had come from a management position in the city. 19 years old, just got, getting married, still a teenager. My husband says he's raised me up right. And he moved me to this little bitty town, and he says, what are we going to do for work? Because we had, for every dollar coming in, we had $2 going out. I had to work. And so, I'm sorry. Now you can see me. But he says, well, do you want to work at the grocery store or the gas station? Because that was our choice. So I picked the grocery store, and I was a cashier, and everybody's like, ooh, the pretty cashier, New blood, she's somewhere else. Unfortunately, the grocery store owner was a horrible man who's just a horrible man, and I worked there, and I quit because they were awful to me, and they treated me awful, and I just felt like I deserved more than that. So 19 years of age, or 20 years of age at that time, I started my own computer business, and I didn't know anything about computers, but you create your own industry, right, in Duchesne, Utah. So I started building and making computers. I taught myself how to make them and build them and teach these old 80-year-old women how to use them and make websites and all that stuff. I just learned it. I didn't know what I was doing, but I sure acted like I did. And made a very successful business, word of mouth with prepaid legal. And you know how I did that? I was really nice to my clients. When they call me up, I say, absolutely, I'll be there. I'll make time for you. And when they made an appointment, I kept that appointment. I made as many appointments as I could physically handle. My husband's like, you gotta eat sometime, And that's why I'm so skinny, I think, because you can talk and eat in this business. So I can talk to more people. And but in Duchesne, I had a good business because I treated my people, my clientele very well. So I got pregnant and had 2 kids, and that somewhere in that process, 3 years ago, my brothers called me up and they said, Becky. Now, I go by Becca, by the way, but if you're a brother, they all call me Becky Hughes. Anyway. But they called me up, they said, you are never going to find an opportunity better than this. And I said, you know what, I'm a mom, my husband pays the bills. And at that time, 3 years ago, my husband was, I-Link, okay, we went there too, and it wasn't good to us. And so we came home, and we had no car for like a year. I was walking around that town on foot because I had no money, no opportunity. And my husband was unemployed, and he started a stone company. The stone company was very difficult because he had to pay $150,000 or some huge amount of money for this company. And he got up every morning at 4:30, 5:30 in the morning. He'd pick up 8, 10 tons of stone a day by hand, putting it in the truck. He'd come home 10, 11 at night, and I'd never see him. So I was helping him get a business off the ground, and I was trying to rub his back at night, you know, make him dinner at night, trying to be a good wife and having these kids. And I said, brothers, I can't do it. I'm just, you know, I'm just a stay-at-home mom. And a year ago, my husband's business didn't pay us for a little while, for like 2 months. So 2 months without a paycheck, most of us can't do that, right? So my brothers, we've all heard of the success of the Hughes brothers, you know, so I call them up. I'm like, how are you doing this? Getting new cars, new boats, new houses, you know? And I said, I just want $500 a month. I just need to make a dent in this mounting of bills. And first month sold 5 memberships. Woohoo! I'm like, $500, you know? That's my goal. The next month I doubled my goal. And at the end of that month, Jeff says, are you doing best you've ever done in this business? I said, yeah. And he says, when do you want to be executive director? Let's set a goal. And I said, give me a year, or give me 2 years. And he says, no, make a date. And I said, give me a year then. He says, no, next month. So I said, how are we going to do this? He says, well, let's figure it out. So we worked the numbers and everything else, and advertising, you know, money to telephone bill and everything. So we figured out how many sales I had to make. And I worked my tail off. Actually, the first week of March or February, I got laryngitis. Didn't work half the month. And so I wanted to be executive director by the end of February so I could go to conference as an executive director. That was the goal. And so for 18 days, I didn't eat much and I didn't sleep much. And my kids didn't see me much, but I made 77 sales. Told me when Jeff and I were concocting the scheme of how I was going to go executive director, my husband says, honey, I don't think you can do this. I don't think you ought to try doing this. And I said, honey, I think I can. He says, I don't think you can. So I went and I worked really hard and I made it happen. He says, maybe you can. I said, honey, if I do this 3 months in a row, I get a pen. You know? So he says, well, you know, go do what you want to do. And so I worked this business from that point forward. Working 75 sales a month was hard for a stay-at-home mom. I don't want to do that every single month, so I started building a team feverishly, and I have recruited people across 30 different states from home. I'm in my pajamas every day. Nobody sees me in Duchesne, Utah. Nobody knows I live in a 3-bedroom single membership, and I'm excited about this membership. And if I had passion about this product, and I didn't know why a service like this was important because I'm young, you know, and I didn't think I would ever need an attorney. Well, I have helped people. I've helped people, and they call me back, and they're crying, and they're thankful, and they write me letters, and they say, thank you for signing me up. This has helped me. Open doors when we're all closed. And so I know, I've heard so many stories. You hear that stories sell this membership. Well, I've heard a lot of stories just from working the service. When they say you don't have to know everything, you just get out there and do it. I've been out there doing it. Matter of fact, my first conference, I had sold 77 memberships, and I go to conference and they get up there. I don't know if y'all remember this in Oklahoma, but they say, don't do this, don't say it this way, don't do it. And I'm thinking, no. I've sold all these memberships all wrong, you know. I have been consistently selling service, or this membership service, and I'm passionate about it. But what I do, I was going to make a list of notes, what I was going to talk to you about today, but I decided that since I'm talking about selling and recruiting from the heart, I'm just going to talk to you from the heart. I'm going to tell you that when you talk to somebody and you listen and you care, I mean, sometimes I feel like I'm Oprah. I'm like, tell me why you need this service, you know, tell me how your life is, tell me what your needs are. And I listen to people and I care about them. I try to remember who they are. I try to remember their situations. And I make a file on each one. I write everything I can remember about that person in that file. And as far as I know, I'm the top producer in the state of Utah for personal sales. And for a stay-at-home mom, with a husband who's never home, with 2 kids under the age of 4 that I keep at home with me because that's important. That's neat, you know? When I started this out, they said, "You crazy, girl, you know, you're gonna be working all the time." Because all I did before prepaid legal was bake cookies, and I would sleep in. My husband would get so angry because I'd wake up at 10 p.m. in the morning with my kids, and I would take a nap at 1 for 3, and then I'd go to bed at 10 with him. And so I was awake less than I was asleep. And he's like, "What kind of life is that?" You know, I'm like, "Well, it's comfortable, it's wonderful. I bake cookies, I take walks with my friends. There's Oprah at 4. You know, it's a busy day as a stay-at-home mom." And when prepaid legal came along, I started getting up early and I started working hard. And my friends were like, "Why? You know, cookies are so fun. You're so good at it." And my friends said, "You're never going to be able to do this." And they said, "You can't do it with no support. You're never going to be able to do this." And when they said I couldn't do it, that spurred me on. And that's why I'm standing up here. And I feel like I got a story that needs to be told. There's a lot of people out there who are being told they can't do it, and they really think they can. I'm always saying that if I was a man in the city, I'd be doing a lot better. But I'm a woman in the country, and I always said that I'm never going to be as successful as my brothers until I get my own wife. So I'm still shopping. So we know of anybody. But I'm working really hard. I'm working every day, all day long. I'm really passionate for this service. And when I recruit people, I'm telling you what, 3-year-old little boys are great for recruiting. Because I'll be on the phone talking with this stay-at-home, or this mom that's staying at home, my boy comes in, Mama, I pooped, I need you to wipe my bum. And it's so loud. She's like, "Are you at home?" And I said, "Yeah, that's my 3-year-old little boy, he's here with me." And she's like, I want to do what you're doing. How do you do what you're doing? Or my daughter will be crying in the background, "Are you at home?" You know, I love when they say it. Yeah, and they pay me really well. So I tell them, I get paid well, I get paid every day, I'm a stay-at-home mom, my kids are with me all day long, and I make 3 times as much as my husband does. Recruiting from the heart, selling from the heart, it pays. Because when you care about people, one of the things about this membership is I say, not only are you going to get Titles 1, Title 2, 3, 4, 5, you're going to get this legal shield. You're going to get access to this network of the best attorneys and law firms across the United States and Canada. But you're going to get me. That's a big sales point for me because I tell them I'm going to be here. I'll be here every day, all day long. You call me. I even work weekends, day and night. You call me. If there's a problem with this membership, if you don't understand it, if you would just want to know how to work it better, call me. I'll be there. And I get so many calls. But I love it because I'm selling from the heart and I get referrals from that. And when I recruit people, I befriend them and I try to get them started fast. Because when I first got started in this business, I told Jeff, I said, "I'll sell 5 memberships, I'll sell memberships, but I ain't recruiting anybody." I said, "You recruit people in Duchesne, everybody buys everything in Duchesne. They've been MLM to death. And so you cannot say the word recruit without it being like a bad word." And I said, "I'm not going to recruit anybody." Well, the first people I recruited were because they wanted to sell this membership, and I was inspired by that, and I said, "Well, I don't know what I'm doing, but here's what I'm doing." And over the 9 months or year that I've been working really hard, I've made every single mistake you can make, and I'm failing my way right to the top. I got a lot of work to do, but I'm climbing that mountain, and I'm getting there along with the rest of you, and I look forward to seeing you all at the top.
Sort of takes them all the way, doesn't it? I'll tell you. Moving right along, we're